still think that there's growth and opportunity to get a lot better and managing pucks in certain situations. But overall, obviously, we're trending in a really good direction.
How do you translate that into the next 2 weeks here at home?
Yeah, well, it's just the video and showing where we have areas for improvement, and I think if we can take that final step where we manage pucks in certain situations more effectively than we have, well, why can't we go 9-2 on our next 11 instead of 8-3? And that's the message. We went through an utter gauntlet that could have broke us, and it didn't. And now we have to use that to our advantage and continue to find a way to get better. We still have room to grow.
And then you mentioned talking about that gauntlet and room to grow, but obviously, talking about the top line, but all the lines you talked about, how do you feel the chemistry, through this with each line has grown overall?
Yeah, it definitely has. I think what's most impressive about the kind of segment we just went through is guys stepping up through some pretty big injuries, right? So just the depth of our definitely our forward group especially showed. Certainly Dowder being out for the last 5 games hasn't helped, but we expect him to be back this weekend, so that'll help. But the chemistry, I think the chemistry is obviously better, but what's better is guys understanding and really buying into what the role is, and being a star in the role, and making most of the minutes that they get, not focusing on how many minutes they get. And that's what great teams have from top to bottom, is players in their room and on the bench that make the most of the minutes that they do get. So I think that's what our guys have really flipped the script and bought into, and if we continue to stay that way, and like I said, make some improvements with some puck management, we think we can be even better.
Any update on McGurn?
McGurn should be back. Yeah, we expect him to be back, which is huge.
With how thin your roster was the past couple of weeks with the injuries and other departures, how did you see the rest of the freshmen step up in that time?
Yeah, they've gotten better and better. When you bring in 11 freshmen, you never know kind of what you're going to get, but we're really pleased with their progress and their development. We even look at like Mello and Ben. I thought they were really good this weekend. They're learning how to play at this level. They're learning how important managing pucks and being on the right side of the puck and getting above pucks is to have success. And if they continue to play like they have and like they are in practice, you're going to see them get more and more, because they're both obviously really, really talented players that can really skate and give us an element that we need to reach the next level of our game.
You guys jumped quite a bit in the pairwise through that gauntlet, or the NPI now.
I still call it the pairwise too.
I know it's like ingrained in my head, but after being in kind of the bottom third for the first part of the year, what's impressed you the most about how you guys have responded through that stretch?
Yeah, I think there's only so much you can put into a computer ranking until it has enough data where it makes sense, right? And now it does, right? And we're clearly in the fight, and we know we're in the fight, especially with another good weekend. We should jump up, another 5-6 spots. So, we're right there, and I think that our approach wasn't, hey, this is where we are in the computer rankings, the way too early computer rankings, and push the panic button. It's, boys, we better turn it up, right? And we have an opportunity through this stretch to get some big wins that will end up being the gift that keeps on giving. And when you beat North Dakota on the road in regulation, you beat Duluth on the road in regulation, you beat Dartmouth on the road in regulation, and you sweep a Big Ten team at home, that's what happens. You catapult up. So we're thrilled about that. We're certainly not content. We still have work to do. We still have spots to jump. And that's the intent.
Coach, you lost a couple of players over the winter due to them going back to juniors. What's the process of that like?
Yeah, with Klutz, it was a touchy situation because he got really sick, and we weren't going to talk about that publicly, but it was very serious to where he was hospitalized, and he had to go back home, right around Halloween, just for the medical treatment and all that stuff that he needed. And we're just thrilled that he's healthy now, and he's back, and after being out so long and being so ill, it was the best for him to stay close to home and go back to junior, so there was no ill will, crazy stuff that happened there. And with Zeb, he's an unbelievable kid. He just wanted to play more, and that's the landscape now that we are in college hockey, with more scholarships available and deeper rosters. You see it happening on other teams too. I mean, it's going to happen, and you go get the best players you can get, and you try to manage it the best you can. But we really liked our left side on our D-core, for various reasons with Bose and Richie and Kipper, who leads our D-core in points, and it was just tough for him to get in, and we wanted him to stay, but he made the decision that going back and getting ice time was going to be the best thing for him, and we completely support him. So it is what it is. I think it's going to be kind of a part of the new landscape, and you learn as you go, and a lot of teams are doing that. But we wish those two nothing but the very best.
How do you see those kind of situations affecting how teams in the future, how often they go to the CHL, knowing in the back of their mind that they could lose those players in the middle of the
I think
season?
there's a couple things you can do a little bit better. Like you can, we always set the proper expectations that where you come here and you earn everything you get. So there were no overpromised, underdeliver type situations with either of those two, and they would tell you the same thing. I think when you have 26 scholarship players, it's tough. In the past, you roster 28, and maybe eight of the 28 are low money or walk-on kids that will grind it out, and earn playing time as they go for, build and develop with you for a couple of years. But now when you have 26, you have kids that have pretty much been the best player on their teams their entire lives, and sitting in the stands is hard, and it's something new for them. So it's both ways. It's kind of calculating and trying to communicate clear expectations a little bit better, and then I think as college hockey becomes more the norm for the CHL, what I think should happen and will with us is the older the kids can be when they come in, the more seasoned they are, the more of a chance they're going to have to play right away. So it's just slowing it down a little bit, and I think the more that CHL kids are coming into college hockey, they're going to learn what it's all about, and flip their minds where this is a 4-year process. It's not a 1-year process, it's a 4-year process. And if you stick to that process and you get all the extra practice, all the time, the weight room, the nutritionist, and all that stuff, then it'll slowly start to become normal. Does that make sense?
In preparation for Miami, what is it like for playing a team a second time through the year? Is that harder, easier, or what?
I think it's one of the cool things about being in the league, that we're excited about still, because we're still new in the league, is that you develop these rivalries with teams in your league, especially when you play them 4 times in a year. It's a lot. So we know their tendencies and they know ours, and obviously we split there, and so the series is on, the season series is on the line this weekend, and I know how bad our guys want to win it.
What are your thoughts on the switch from the pairwise to NPI, given that they're so similar in most
Yeah.
aspects, and you guys have been kind of just outside that the past few years?
Last year if we used the NPI and a lot of models, we would have made it. And this year there's some things in the NPI right now that just, to me, don't make a lot of sense. Look at our quality of wins and our strength of schedule. I just feel like we should be a little higher. But again, it is what it is, and the system's a system. I don't get too much into the weeds on the different math and all that stuff, but the biggest thing is we control our destiny still. We put ourselves in a position to control our destiny. We don't need to get help. We don't need to only rely on peaking for playoffs. We certainly want to peak at playoffs, and that's a priority, but not for the reason of getting into a postseason in the NCAA tournament. So we control, and we put ourselves in that position.
When managing players with injuries, how do you manage the human being side of that?
Just communicate, and make sure that they know the line of communication is open, and and that if they don't communicate the right way and communicate properly, then we're not, we don't have crystal balls. We can't read their minds. So just communication like we do everything else.
You mentioned a lot the amount of freshmen this year. What's it like having Connor and Sam back there? I mean, you've mentioned 1A and 1B. What's it like to have them throughout this past stretch?
Who?
Connor and Sam, the netminders.
Oh yeah, it's the best goaltending duo we've ever had. It's not even close. So they've been spectacular. We know our guys. They would honestly tell you. I can tell you, I'm confident with either one in net. Obviously, Haz is getting more starts. He's the older guy with more experience, but Herbs can beat anybody on any given night. He went up and beat Duluth. And he's 2-0 in his last 2 starts. Yeah. So they're both great. They give a level of confidence. They let our guys, and you can start to see our guys really starting to play, and especially our top guys are playing free. They're playing like they can't. When you play like you can't make a mistake, because every mistake you make, you feel like is going to end up in the back of your net. That's when things go bad. And our guys were scoring, and our top guys are playing really, really good hockey. I think a large part of that is because they have confidence in our goaltender.
One more. When you have all of your lines clicking the way that they are, and several players out with injury, what's that kind of process like? Just trying to fit them back when they come back from injury, even with all the.
Yeah, I mean it's Johnny Waldron's going to be out this weekend now, so it's just how it works at this point in the season. You get somebody back, you lose somebody. Jack Beck's going to be out for the year, so we will say that. Unfortunately, his injury ended up requiring surgery. We tried to get around it and figure out a way to see if he could play. It's just not going to happen. So big loss, but we've gotten through it, and Becker will be back next year, better than ever and stronger than ever. So guys got to step up, and right now they have. Look at what Ty Nash has done. Look at what Logan Morell's done. Look at what Potsy and Cruz and Schimmer are doing. We have plenty up front to get done what we need to get done. Go ahead, Gabby. You were going to ask something.
Oh yeah, I know you talked about it over the weekend, but Cruz and Shimmick and Potter are highest scoring line in the nation after going back and kind of looking at it. What's clicked for them? How have you seen their approach change to get it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're special. I said when Cruz got here and unfortunately wasn't able to display it because of his injury, that I thought he was going to be one of the best players that's ever played here, and he is. Same with Potsy, same with Shim. They're all three, in the top 11, I think, nationally in scoring, and 2 of them are in the top 3. It's pretty special, So, that's the thing. Like when you have kids that are driving play that well and they're that dominant, everybody else just needs to buy into the role. We get some secondary scoring, and we focus on keeping the puck out of our net. We're going to be tough to beat.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
Coach.
Have a weekend back at home after being on the road for a month.
Yeah, I mean, super good. It's always fun to play in front of your fans, especially getting 2 wins, and then obviously the last Desert Classic for a little bit to get the win. It's special.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, nothing's better than playing at Mullet, right? So we love getting back here anytime we can, and luckily we got 2 wins to make fans happy.
Cruz, your line is the highest scoring line in the nation. What's it been like playing with those guys, and how have you clicked the past few weeks?
Yeah, obviously it's a good feeling. I think the success is surrounded from all of us as well as our team in general. I always kind of say like the better everyone's doing, the better you're going to do individually, and it's just really easy to play with Shim and Potsy, and just the communication side of it for us is a big part of our success, and just we're out there having fun, so it's been working.
Cruz, you lead the nation in scoring right now. What's that feeling like for you?
Yeah, it's definitely good. I mean, obviously, it's credit to the guys who I'm playing with too. I definitely would not be if it wasn't for those guys, and I think just it's about consistency. Not taking any games off, and doing the best you can every shift to help out the team as well.
After what you went through last year, how rewarding does it feel just to be towards the top and all of the stats this year?
Yeah, that's probably one of the better feelings is having a season like last year where, you know, a lot of ups and downs with the surgery, and you know, I kind of look back and, you know, I had surgery, but there's a lot of worse things that could be happening to me, and kind of just looking at the future, getting to this season healthy, and that's all I was kind of focused on, and that's the biggest part of it.
Coach just released that Jack Beck's going to be out for the year with surgery, similar to what you were going through. What's that feeling like in the locker room when you lose a player of that caliber?
Yeah, it's really tough, especially because he's such a big part of our team, and just he's such a good hockey player. It's definitely you know, big piece missing, but yeah, I don't know really too much what I'll say about that, but just kind of praying for him and hoping his recovery is quick and he'll help the guys, you know, being healthy next season.
Connor, Coach said you and Tim might be the best tandem in the nation. What are your thoughts on this past month or so?
I mean, yeah, I think we kind of piggyback off each other. Like we've been getting out there early every single day, putting in work. We just have fun doing it, and I think that's kind of really translated for both of us. So, yeah, I mean, it's just we've been great together, and we both push each other to be better. We're both always rooting for each other, so it's just been great.
You're both veteran guys. How have you seen some of the young guys step up as guys are in and out of the lineup with injuries?
I mean, it's definitely like you said, just Jack Beck's out for the year, but like they just what I'm trying to say here, it's like one guy goes down and like the young guys, like they realize like how much he means to us, and they know they can mean just that much too. And I think that's with how many young guys we have, it's been great seeing them all kind of come into their roles, and I really love our freshmen. They're all great guys, and they're going to do everything they can to help us win. I think they've been doing that for us.
How does that just speak levels about the maturity of this team, even with the underclassmen, the freshmen showing that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're younger on paper. We got some young guys, but every day you kind of see them mature. Like they learn from the older guys, they learn from veterans. They see what we're doing. They know what it takes to kind of be a winning program and a winning team, and maybe they didn't see that in juniors, or maybe they did, but at the same time, it's a huge jump. So just seeing that every day, I think their maturity level has grown tremendously throughout the season.
And when that top line's out there, what is it like being in the crease, knowing that the best scoring line in the nation is in front of you?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I'm probably thinking I'm probably gonna score, so just take a nap in the crease for a second. But no, I mean I'm always happy to see them succeed on any line. But I mean, they've been unbelievable. I mean, every time they're out there, I feel bad for the other goalie sometimes, but yeah, it's been great.
As you guys head into this final stretch of the season, how important are these next 4 games all at home?
Yeah, I think just can't take any games off, especially in conference play. I mean, it's pretty tight right now, and you know, you look back on, you know, I at least look back on, you know, my college seasons, and you look at these little games where maybe it was a 1-goal game, or you know, and that affected you throughout in the rankings, and where you place to get to the tournament, and it's really close and tight, and you just can't take any games off, no periods off. It's like I said before, just about being consistent, and you know, focusing on the goal of winning.
Yeah, it's one game at a time. I mean, you can't win 4 if you don't win the first one. So just one game at a time. We're gonna go into this Friday knowing that we gotta get the job done, and that's gonna be the mentality throughout for the rest of the season, really.
What's the toughest part, adjustment-wise, when you're playing a team for the second time? Because for those who are talking about, obviously you're playing 4 games against a team, but when you see them the second time, what's the biggest challenge in getting ready for them?
Yeah, I think it's there's just a few reasons. Like, you know, sometimes it could depend on the first few games you play them, kind of how those went. But really, it's towards the end of the season. It's when no matter how many times you've played a team, it's so cutthroat that's you know, you do everything it takes to win. So I think it's really no matter how many times you've played somebody, and obviously the more you do, the more it's heated and all of that. But yeah, it's definitely tougher the more you play them, for sure.
You guys just went through quite the schedule gauntlet and you had a lot of success in it. How have you seen the team grow after kind of starting a little bit slower?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I was saying earlier, like it's just kind of the maturity we've kind of grown together. We get closer and closer every day, I feel like, and I think just every game, every situation we're in, whether it's you go down after the first period or like all of those experiences help everybody learn what kind of group we are, and I think we kind of really figure that out in that gauntlet. Like, you know, we're gonna face adversity. Like, we're playing some unbelievable teams, and so it's just kind of how do we get through that, and I think we did a great job handling it a lot of the time.
Having played Miami twice already, does that help or change preparation for this weekend?
Yeah, I think last time we played them, it was definitely physical. You just kind of you look back, and especially at those games for us, you can improve on. I think they're in a tight race with us as well. So it's just, you know, about really every shift kind of, not really looking towards how many you can get up and going in the first, second. It's what you can do each shift.
A couple weekends ago, Tucker Ness scored his first goal in his collegiate career. What's he mean to this team and his leadership, and what was it like seeing him score that?
Yeah, he means really everything. I mean, he's, you know, a senior this year. He's been with the program 4 years. He's I live with him and Shimmick, and he's just a guy that you not only want to be on the ice with, but just always be around. And I think even like the fans watching it, like they can picture that too. I mean, he's such a special guy. He's somebody you really always want to be around, and if anyone ever kind of gets a chance to talk to him and meet him, they would say the absolutely same thing. So,
Cruz, for you, you had the power play had 2 goals last Saturday. What's Ty Nash done and a myriad of changes to help that?
Yeah, he's a really great player. Obviously, he's just always works. He played with our unit on when we scored on Saturday, and I mean he's kind of a junkyard dog out there. Is the best way to kind of talk about him. If there's any loose puck, any loose battle, he's going to come out with it, and that's what you want on a power play, especially in that bumper spot too. Is somebody on any loose pucks going to be there? Somebody being in lanes, creating a lot of havoc throughout it. So he absolutely deserves it too.